Hi, this is Phyllis Wilson with my Daily Moments, and I wanted to talk about multiple streams of income. And I was sitting here because I have been making sure that this year that I embrace dealing with multiple streams of income. And when you hear people say that, because it seems to be the buzzword, that and entrepreneurship and creating your own business and becoming a business owner, it seems to be the buzz phrases and what's coming out lately and more aggressively with people because of COVID-19 and the unstable environment as far as economics go and income generation, finances, and so forth. People are using those buzzwords and those terms. However, at the beginning, when I was working on starting the power of the mastermind, because I do mastermind groups, I was talking to the ladies, and one of my goals for 2020, no matter what, even before COVID happened, one of my goals was to build and increase my multiple streams of income. I wanted to have at least 5. And since I said that and have started to reach the goals and do the trainings and take the classes, get the certifications and so forth for the 5 areas of multiple streams of income that I said at the beginning of 2020 that I wanted to work on for this year, I've had 3 additional streams of income just come out and evolve from out of the 5. Meaning that I did the perfume and cologne launch line, and I still have that available. And so I got the trademark for it just the other day. That's crazy, but it just happened the other day that I got the documentation for the trademark for both scents that I have out. Josephine's Coat of Many Colors is a book. The perfume is Josephine's Journey. The cologne for men is Joseph's Dream. And I got the trademark done for both of those. And that was one of my streams of income for 2020. I finished the designs for another stream of income. And now I'm working on dealing with manufacturers and distributors for that, because it's not in the perfume scent era. It's in a whole different line and different stream of income. So I'm working on getting that piece and those components together and finalized, and that announcement will be coming out soon. And it'll eventually, the 2 will be available on my website, as well as, somewhere in the YouTube channel. I'll give you information. So if you're interested in that, you can click the link and go there for that. But that's 2 out of the 3. Out of the 5. Well, the third one was me building up my books, and I have 4 written, 4 published. They're all available on Amazon. You can Google my name, because as my comedian friend and my sister in my head, comedian Nikita B says, I'm Googleable. So you can Google my name on Amazon, Phyllis Wilson, and the books will appear and come up for you. And you can order right there on the site. So that's the third stream of income. But then I'm also dealing with financial services and my bookkeeping business. So that is developing and coming on strong. I was up to 4 clients when COVID hit, and now I'm down to 1. But be that as it may, that 1 has been going on strong, and we've been able to do things. And now I'm working on certifications to build in the other components of my financial services. So I'll be taking that exam. So hopefully it won't interrupt me doing anything with the podcast and the YouTube. And those are streams of income as well, as I build and develop those. So that is my 4 streams of income. Well, the 5th one is coming out, and I was approached about this 5th one, not even thinking about it, but I was approached with the 5th one based on my other things that I've done with the leadership and development, the life coaching, helping people with developing and really understanding who they are and how relationships are taking shape and form. And they've listened to some of my podcast when I first started the podcast. So that is the 5th income. And I'm actually talking to them tomorrow, them meaning that company that approached me, and seeing where we can evolve and move forward with that project. And that will be my 5 streams of income. Okay, so The other three stemmed from that. So even though you use the term multiple streams of income, don't think of it as they all have to be connected. But then there are some instances where your streams of income, it might even only be two when you say multiple. You might want to be just two streams of income, a full-time job, a business, and then something else in addition to that. But you never know how these other three or the other one or two other streams of income will evolve from one component of other streams of income that you've anticipated or considered. So out of my five, I had three additional ones evolve from the five that I initially thought about. And then the fifth, one of the ones is the one that I'm talking about tomorrow. But for me, the five that I mentioned were the perfume cologne line, the other line that I did the design for that I'm finalizing, the financial services / bookkeeping business that I have with my clients. Then there is my books, the seminars, the conferences, all of that I do. That's the fourth one. And for me, my fifth one that I considered and talked about is credit repair, dealing with that piece. And I guess in some way it will connect with financial services. But I've already paid what I need to pay. I've already done the training that I need to do. And then not just the credit itself, but then also dealing with government contracts, getting government contracts. So that's my five streams of income. Well, out of that, three additional ones streamed up or expanded from out of the five that I initially said. So the next one that streamed up is the one that I'm talking to the individuals tomorrow. And that came as a result of the podcast, the YouTube, and all that I do with the workshop, seminars, conferences, and helping people discover who they are in relationships. So that's stemming from that. Then I had the opportunity and was presented with another one, which will be my seventh stream of income, which will be going back to radio, because I used to do radio years ago. I just didn't like getting up at 4 o'clock and getting to the station by 5 o'clock to do my recording for my show between 6 and 6:30. And my audience was usually mostly everybody on the post that work in the postal services, post office, that early in the morning. And my show was being recorded on Sunday morning. So I would be at the radio station on Sunday morning from 6 to 6:30, sometimes 7 o'clock, depending on the topic and if calls came in. So doing that, I got presented with the opportunity to go back to that, but this time being paid, and being paid more than what I was actually putting out and getting before. So that will be my seventh stream. And then the eighth stream of income was an idea that stemmed from out of the five. And then it was like, how can I package all of this together, what I do, what I know to do, and then capitalize financially on it, as well as keep continuing to do, if I could talk, continuing to do what I love to do, which is helping people, and it's a part of fulfilling my purpose. So with that in mind, when you hear the term or someone say about multiple streams of income, that does not necessarily mean the multiple streams of income need to come from sources that are obvious to you at the time that you're considering the multiple streams of income. It might simply be, or something that stems from, oh, okay, I already had this idea, now I can do this. Because from my books and everything, which is one of my streams of income, the books, the workshops, and seminars, the perfume cologne line came from one of my books. And it actually is a book and a workbook. And the book is Josephine's Coat of Many Colors. And I had a desire to learn a skill, or at least do something fun as an activity for it. And before you know it, here comes this other stream of income, which is the perfume cologne launch. And I only was supposed to be going to learn about perfumes and colognes and scents and all of that kind of stuff. And there was a fun activity, that's something that I always wanted to do. So when I did it, instead of coming out with one scent, I came out with two. And then the distributor came back to me and said, you have two winners here. Let's expand on it. And that's how that happened with the perfume cologne launch. And that branched and evolved from a source of income from my business that I already had in place and have had in place for years. I've just been building up. So now I'm focusing on building a brand. So I share all this to say to you, your multiple streams of income could come from any source based on what your ideas are, from your basic general ones that you have pinpointed. Because like if you want to do credit repair, who's to say another stream of income for you couldn't be that you put together an online training or class to talk about credit repair and walk people through the steps, because sometimes people may not feel comfortable with paying you a monthly fee, but they would rather you teach them how to do it. Well, how about because you gain the knowledge and information, you make it another stream of income to create an online course that people pay you for. My thing with the perfume and cologne line. Yes, I have a perfume and cologne line, but who's to say it won't branch into something else like jewelry, or maybe it'll be shoes, or maybe it'll even be, I take this perfume cologne line, put a portion of the proceeds, give it to a foundational organization, and then before you know it, I'm on the board for a foundational organization. Or maybe even build and enhance the one that I already created, which is Yarning to Help. And it does crochet and knit items for the neonatal babies in hospital wards. It might even be me building back up Teen Scene, where the money is poured in to help assist young ladies and young men to get to the next level of understanding who they can become and equipping them with the tools and skills that they need to be able to move forward in life. Who's to say? But at any rate, every idea that you have for multiple streams of income, don't just look at it as it's just that one component, because 5 or 6 different other avenues for income could stem from that very one idea that you have. So start thinking outside the box, not just what you wrote on that paper. Have a good evening.